Hello and welcome to your demonstration of the Ansay HR Info Express portal. This will be just a short demonstration of some of the features of this portal. Really a great tool for any human resources and compliance needs. Lots of different content to reference and all attorney reviewed and approved. So you know that it is credible information. I'm going to go through just kind of a very brief demonstration today, but if you do have questions of how to access this portal or any hiccups navigating the features, definitely reach out to your dedicated account manager or account executive, and we'd be happy to walk you through it separately. So when you first log in, your home screen will look very similar to what you're seeing here. You will see a link to a demo video if you would like to reference that in the future. The main things to really note on this initial dashboard are the inbox here at the top and these widgets with different content categories listed at the bottom. These are really helpful just to quickly access information that's relevant to these particular topics, but know that you can also search in the top search bar at any time for any content, just using a couple of keywords to search like you would on Google or any other search engine. So talking a little bit about this inbox, as you can see here, I have a number of different alerts that are coming through, and these are also being sent via email. So when you first log in, it's very helpful to open up the settings category and make sure that that inbox is notifying you of information that you truly want to receive. The default is that it will send you updates of all content for all locations, meaning all 50 states, and for all industries. So if you want it that way, that's certainly fine to keep it that way and just make sure that you are subscribed so that you receive these updates via email on a regular basis and you're not having to log in and view that inbox on the home screen. This is really helpful, again, so that you're not having to come into this portal all the time, but still receiving those alerts via email so that you are up to date on any changes in regulation. Especially if you are working in multiple states, it's very helpful to select the applicable states that you want to keep an eye on. So make sure that you go in and change those settings and save that before you do anything else in this portal so that your inbox is applicable to exactly what you want to see. And then again, if you click on view alerts, it will provide you with a full document, but also just a very brief explanation of the change. Those are the main things to note on the home screen. As we navigate along the side menu bar here to the left, again, under the content library, you can see a number of different areas of relevant topics. However, you can also search based on the type or the format of the content and the topic or industry or location here from the search option. So let's say, for example, I'm looking at options to survey my staff related to maybe some wellness and kind of gauge their interest in any sort of a workplace wellness program. There's a number of different resources that will populate based on that search content. Maybe let's say I'm looking at something like a safety policy. I could certainly just plug that into the search options at the top. You will receive hundreds of search results for most of the things that you're searching. You can always narrow that down based on the type or format of content that you're looking at, if it's something that's going to be employee facing or just for internal reference, as well as the location. But again, it's always going to give you, just as Google does, it'll give you the most relevant search results towards the top. So as you can see here, it's got a sample safety policy. I could download that in Word or PDF, or email and share that with my colleagues. So really helpful tool within this content library. The HR applications are just like they sound, so very similar to apps on your phone. you're plugging in information in order to generate an outcome. So pretty self-explanatory here in terms of what each of these is responsible for assisting you with. But again, really a helpful tool, especially if you don't have other resources through your HCM or maybe payroll provider. These can be really helpful just to draft some of those templates to work off of to have those conversations with your staff. The total compensation statement builder is a little bit more in-depth and hands-on. As you can imagine, there are a number of different facets to a total compensation statement, so it does get quite granular. What you're able to do when you launch this option is actually download a spreadsheet, and it will give you the template file to download. It will ask for a number of different areas, and you can also insert your own custom areas as well. So if you have, let's say, very specific uniform reimbursements, you purchase boots for your staff or PPE, it gets very granular. So you can include all of that as well as your benefits and bonuses, vacation time. Obviously, their, base wages or salary, taxes that you're paying. There's a lot that goes into it. So you're able to plug all of that into this template file, then go ahead and upload that, and it will generate for you individualized letters with formatted total compensation statements, including visuals on there as well, so pie charts and things like that. You can select and format so that you have a very clean and precise document for each individual that you've listed out on that template. You can also just go in and create this for one individual if you'd like, and it'll walk through the same topics that it does on this template. So those are the HR apps. The compliance apps, again, work very similarly. If you don't have a resource for ACA reporting, this is an extremely helpful tool to generate those 1094, 1095 forms. Scrolling down a little bit, these are all extremely helpful, especially if you are working in multiple states. This law comparison tool is very helpful to, again, compare between the different states and make sure that you are compliant with all the different state laws in which you operate. The federal poster advisor, again, is very helpful, particularly if you are a multi-state employer, but it definitely has resources for all employers in terms of what's required to be posted and what you're required to notify your employees of. The FMLA advisor links directly to the Department of Labor, so it's really more of an informational the link to that website where you can, read additional information and understand whether or not the FMLA applies to you as an employer and or to a particular individual as an employee. So these are all extremely helpful compliance applications that you have access to. And the notices, again, work very similarly. You're plugging in information in order to generate that particular outcome. COBRA notice generator, again, most employers that are watching this, either COBRA doesn't apply or you likely have a third party that's administering those notices. But if you do not, this is certainly a great option to generate those required notices to be provided to your participants. You also have access to generate your own handbook right out of this portal. I won't jump through that just to spare you from getting very dizzy, but it walks through a number of different sections within the handbook and then a number of questions that are related to particular policies. So for example, what is your company dress code? Casual, dress for your day, business, and then based on your response, it will plug in the necessary language. So there's a number of questions that you do have to walk through in order to generate that handbook. But again, at the end, it will generate a full, concise document in both Word and PDF format, and you are able to translate that into Spanish as well. The HR hotline, again, is another great resource on here that you're able to reach out to anytime you do have a question. You also have access to HR consultants via phone and email. If you have any questions of how to reach those individuals, certainly reach out again to your advisor or account manager, and they'd be happy to give you that contact information. But just know that you can always submit those questions right here from the portal. The LMS is the learning management system. What you're seeing here is just a demo site, but essentially it'll list your employer name at the top and provides you with just under 200 different courses that you're able to administer to your employees, all using this cloud-based platform. So employees are able to watch these trainings and complete them. They do receive a certificate when their course is complete, and then receive an email notification as well. So you're able to track this very easily. And employees are able to access these courses either on a desktop, laptop, or a mobile device. Again, all the trainings are listed here, but it does provide a number of the state required harassment and violence prevention trainings, as well as a number of different general workplace and safety trainings that may be extremely helpful to your organization. You do also have the opportunity to upload your own custom courses to this portal as well. This learning platform does come at an additional fee, so it's not going to automatically be included on your menu here. But if you do have questions or you're interested in that, definitely reach out to your advisor and we can walk you through that. And that concludes this very brief demonstration. If you do have questions, please reach out. Thank you so much for listening.